All right, everybody, welcome back to the Growth Lounge, a podcast that helps you, level up in every aspect of your life. Now, before we dive in, just a quick reminder to check out the Uplift space on YouTube and Instagram. We've got tons more inspiring content over there. And of course, hit that follow button right here on Spotify for the Growth Lounge so you never miss an episode. Cool. So today we're going to be taking a deep dive into something that's been on my mind a lot lately. Is it really all about the destination, or does the process actually matter more than we think?
Yeah, it's a fascinating question.
It is, and the sources you sent over suggest that. Really focusing on the process can unlock a whole new level of joy and fulfillment, and I gotta say, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, it's an idea that's been around for centuries. Philosophers have been debating it. And now modern psychology is actually starting to back it up with some pretty interesting research.
Okay, so let's break this down because I'll be honest, I'm a little bit torn here. On the one hand, I'm all about setting those ambitious goals and hitting those milestones, but at the same time, there's this part of me that wonders if I'm missing out on the richness of the journey itself.
Yeah, no, I totally get that it's a common tension. We all feel it. Our brains are kind of hardwired for that progress and achievement, but constantly focusing on what's next, that can actually steal our joy in the present moment, right?
Hmm.
The source talks about the transformative power of focusing on the present, and what often transforms is our perspective. When we let go of that obsession with the finish line, we start to appreciate those small victories, the
Yeah.
unexpected detours, the lessons we learn along the way.
Yeah,
Those are the experiences that really shape us. They build our resilience and our character.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I see how that could work. The source also mentions mindfulness and gratitude as key parts of this process. But let's get practical here. How do we actually cultivate those things in a way that feels genuine and not just like another thing on our to-do list?
Well, it all starts with being intentional with your attention. Instead of letting your mind race ahead to the next task or the next goal, challenge yourself to really immerse yourself in the present moment. Notice the sensations, the emotions, the little details you might normally miss.
Right.
Like when you eat your food, actually taste it, savor it. When you're walking, feel the ground beneath your feet. It sounds simple, but consistently shifting your focus this way, it can really have a profound impact on your well-being overall.
The source mentions some studies linking this whole process focus to greater life satisfaction.
Yeah.
But can you really trick your brain into being happy about a really difficult process just by celebrating those small wins?
Well, it's not really about tricking your brain. It's more like rewiring it. When we intentionally focus on what's good, what we're grateful for, what we've accomplished so far, we actually strengthen those neural pathways that are associated with positive emotions. It's kind of like building a muscle. The more we practice gratitude and savoring positive experiences, the more natural it becomes.
That reminds me of when I was training for a marathon a few years back. I was so fixated on race day, that I was making the training itself a chore. It wasn't until I started appreciating those little milestones, like running a little bit farther each week, feeling my endurance build, that I actually started to enjoy the process. And you know what? I ended up performing better on race day because I wasn't so weighed down by the pressure.
Exactly. That's a perfect example of how shifting your focus can lead to some really unexpected benefits. It's not about ignoring the destination. It's about recognizing that the journey has its own value.
So how can our listeners apply this to their own lives, especially if they're driven by those ambitious goals?
Well, here's a challenge for you listening right now. Think of one area in your life where you're really hyper focused on the outcome, Maybe it's a work project, a relationship, a personal goal. Now ask yourself, what would it look like to truly savor the process of this? What small victories can you celebrate today? How can you bring more mindfulness and gratitude into this journey, even amidst the challenges?
That's such a powerful question for all of us. It's easy to get caught up in the end goal. But sometimes the greatest rewards come from fully immersing ourselves in the journey. And you might even find that you achieve your goals with more ease and enjoyment when you appreciate the process along the way.
Exactly. And remember, every step, every obstacle, every lesson, it all contributes to the richness of your story.
You've been listening to The Growth Lounge. Make sure to subscribe and follow the Uplift Space on YouTube and Instagram. And follow us here on Spotify. Until next time, keep growing.